setup.
Oh, okay, because I haven't been there in a while.
I'm going.
Are you going for a tub today?
No, I won't be tubbing.
Okay. All right.
Unless I find a tubster.
A tubster, yes, a partner in crime. All right, everybody, get out there and vote today. Be safe. And all I can say is, I don't know. It's history. We're going to witness whatever happens in this election.
That's right.
It is historical. Absolutely.
And you don't have to be an athlete to be a good sport. Remember that, people.
All right. Thanks to everyone in the Facebook Live room. I love all of you out there. So, like I said, be safe. Go vote.
And don't forget to eat at Second Brook.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Now, how's that place doing?
We went again last night. Fantastic.
I haven't been yet.
The food is great. I mean, it's really nice.
I haven't been yet.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Are you all right, Daryl?
I'm great.
You going to make it through the day?
Absolutely.
You'll be here tomorrow?
You know it.
All right. And don't forget, Polly C will be here tomorrow for the Polly C's Baker's Dozen. Matt Connarton. Who knows what's going to happen?
We don't know.
Let's get out of here. I'm excited.
Me too.
Let's go, folks.
I'm as excited as Tim Baines right now.
My name is Tim Baines, and I'm very excited.
Well, he doesn't say it like that, though. Do your best, Tim Baines. Daryl, go ahead.
I'm so excited.
No, that's the Pointer Sisters. My name is Tim Baines, and I'm excited.
That's it.
But it doesn't have quite that ring to it.
The Mint is open again, though, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Good.
My name is Tim Baines. Today I'm excited.
Today I'm excited.
All right, get out there and vote, folks. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Adios.
Yahoo!
Hey, Maddie, can you believe the holidays are already here?
I can't, Peter, but what I do believe is that this year's Miracle on Elm Street is going to be bigger than last year.
Last year, we helped over 200 families and over 400 Manchester kids Christmas morning.
It is amazing to know how much support the city has for our kids.
On December 6th, at Bonfire Country Bar at 950 Elm Street, WMNH and the Hope Program will be having a radio telethon. It's a Miracle on Elm Street.
Come to Bonfire, have a drink, and spread the holiday cheer.
It's a Miracle on Elm Street. Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
You are listening to WMNHLP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA.
You are a melody, a simple note written in between. never miss. Dig in your heels, amigo. Let me see some blood, sweat, and tears. Take me to the graveyard and show me why I shouldn't be afraid. My friend, old friend, come shoot me down again. People come and go like the wind. Leave me bloody in the streets, so remember me, 'cause a good friend isn't easy to find. Knocked out with a feather by a fair weather friend. Lay the cards down this time, you can't always win. I agree to disagree, amigo. Let them sleeping dogs lie down. Take you to the doctor and show me why I shouldn't be afraid. My friend, old friend, come shoot me down again. People come and go like the wind. Leave me bloody in the streets, so remember me, 'cause a good friend isn't easy to find.
listening to WMNH 95.3. The commander to the supreme leader, Matzo coming
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast Channel 6 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Saturday, December 2, 2023, and I am not alone.
Sunshine.
Jenny is here at the news desk. Welcome.
Present and accounted for.
Yes, yes. And we have a great band joining us today who we're going to talk with in a moment. And actually, they're going to play live for us in studio. We've got Glittertooth here. Looking forward to that. Also, later in the show, we have Erich Pilcher's classic film review, which returns this week. And this week, the subject is Enter the Dragon. And we'll see what else we get into today. But the studio line is open if you'd like to join us. If you've got any questions for our guests who we're about to introduce, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connarton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007. And we'll say hello to everybody just quickly in the chat room because we've got our many of our loyal listeners in there. Carol Zawarowitz says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Carol. Erich Pilcher, who I just mentioned, of course, he's in there. He says, good morning, all the way from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Jenny, you're in there, of course. We've got J-Fed from the great state of Vermont says, good morning. Legion of Solace, great band, very loyal, says, morning, friends. Full day. Can't stay long, but wanted to stop in. Wonderful to see you in there. We have Isaac Banks in the chat room. The People's Mayor, Glenn R.J. Willett, says, nice music. Very nice. Let's see. And let's go ahead and we'll bring in the band. So we've got Taylor, Phil, and Dan from the band Glittertooth. How are you guys? Welcome.
Great. Good. Thanks for having us. This is awesome.
Yeah. It's wonderful to meet you all. Actually, let's start with we'll start with Taylor in the corner on the drums. Tell us, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us everything that you do in the band, or maybe you just play drums. I don't know.
Well, I do play drums. Yeah, that's like my main instrument. But I actually do have one song in the band where I play guitar and I sing a little bit. So we're actually
excellent.
We're actually going back into the studio tomorrow, and we're finishing. We're actually recording 2 new songs tomorrow. We're working on like an EP.
Okay.
6 or 7 songs.
Okay.
And I have one track where I wrote. I don't know. I wrote it like 7 years ago, but it's gonna be a Glittertooth thing. Now.
Brought it back to life.
We brought it back, and I've got guitar and vocals and working on finishing that up tomorrow, and it's gonna be cool. Most of them Phil sings on. Dan's got some vocals in there a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna be fun to actually put out some music with.
He's an awesome harp player too. So.
Oh, excellent.
Not
excellent.
like the harp.
Not yet.
I wish I could play like the thing.
A man of many talents.
Harmonica harp. He's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun though. Yeah.
And we've got Phil on the couch.
Yes. Hello. I play guitar and sing in the band. I play drums on the track that he was just talking about.
Oh,
he plays drums. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Do a decent amount of the writing so far. We all collaborate on bringing the songs together and making them into the Glittertooth form. But
yeah.
Very
good.
Yeah.
And then we've got the bass player over here, Dan.
Yeah, I'm Dan Moran. I sing some backups, but mostly let Phil do all the diva work, and I just play bass and try to wrangle the cats, and I'm like the grandpa of the band, so we're
much needed.
Yeah.
He keeps us young, really. Actually, what he does.
No,
he's the young man.
These guys keep me young, so it's pretty cool. So
thought I'd get to it first.
Yeah, thanks.
And we should mention too, you are the parent of a musician who's been on the show.
My son Tyler Moran, he's in Fox and the Flamingos, who we were on your show before, and they're awesome.
Incredible band.
Oh,
also, he's the father of an incredible musician, I would say. Tyler he's something to see.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He was in a band
good.
with me. Well, he was in our band, the Pop Farmers, and he left to join the Flamingos, and he's doing great. The Flamingos are awesome.
Yeah, they well, as I'm sure you know, I'm sure you listened or watched it, but they're amazing. What's that? They have a studio track that I sometimes play on the show because I just love it so much.
Bandit.
That's a great song, but no, it's the Don't Be a Stranger, I think it's called, or Stranger. Maybe it's just Stranger.
Yeah.
Really, that's a great song. I told them, I said, you've got a hit single there.
Yeah, they just played
really
out in Worcester last night. I was hoping to go, but I didn't go. But
oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to make some good noise. So.
The other thing I always say about them too is no disrespect to Fleetwood Mac, but they played the best version of Rhiannon I've ever heard in this studio.
Yeah, that was a cool version. Yeah, I was watching it live, and it's like, wow,
that was so good.
It's all just acoustic. It came out really cool.
Oh, it was so good. I mean, being here in the room too, I mean, I'm sure it sounded okay on the radio, but being here in the room, you know what I mean? It was like, wow, this is truly remarkable. But great band. But you guys, we've got some studio tracks. You sent me 3 of them, and we did open the show with I played something something else. But then we played Amigo from Glittertooth. Great track, and we'll play the others too. And I'm looking forward to hearing you guys live. So actually, if you want to play something for us, and then we'll talk some more and learn all about the band. But yeah, I'm dying to hear you guys play.
All right.
Sure.
First song we're going to do is it's called I May Be Right. It's a song about questioning your choices.
All right.
You guys ready?
Yep. We are ready.
All right. May be right, may be wrong. I guess I'm sorry it took this long. Go run away when it gets too deep. Would you light the match and let it put you back to sleep? Now it's alright if you can't say no. This run won't die until we say so. Don't let them tell you to stay in the line. This pavement is breaking one crack at a time. I told you once and I told you twice. The third time charm is the time I'll let go. Go run away when it gets too deep. Would you light the match and let it put you back to sleep? Now it's alright if we can't say no. This run won't die until I say so. Tell you to stay in the line. 'Cause this pavement is breaking one crack at a time. One crack at a time.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Very nice. What's that called again?
I May Be Right.
I May Be Right. Yeah, that's a great track.
Not to be confused with, the Billy Joel song.
You may be right.
You may be right.
You may be right. You may be right. Dun, 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 dun.
I like this better.
When I learned that, or when I started playing that song out, every time I'd say it, people would be like, "Oh, sweet," and then it'd be that song, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay."
That's funny.
Well, like in a bar open mic, like people are like, "Oh, Billy Joel, sweet," and then you're like, "Actually, it's like a softer original song," and they're like, "Okay, like this is cool," but yeah, the faces just dropped.
And then they'd ask you if you knew Piano Man.
Yeah.
We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's on the line?
Yeah, this is Doug, and actually, I'm sorry to interrupt your programming. I just called because when I got out of work this morning, I was on the way home listening to your station, and Maggie Hassan came on. You guys were talking about Election Day in New Hampshire today. Is there Election Day in New Hampshire today?
No, what you probably heard was, actually, I know what you definitely heard. The morning show with Peter White. He runs classic episodes on Saturday. So the show's on weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m.
I understand. Sorry to have bothered you guys. It just seemed odd that there was something on there, and I came home and I said, I don't know. As far as I know, it's on Tuesdays and so forth and so on. Anyway, thank you much. You guys are doing a great job.
all right. Thanks, Doug.
Thanks. Get out and vote.
That's right. vote very early and often.
Yeah,
yes,
early
yes.
and often.
But yes, of course, you can hear the morning show with Peter White weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. with a replay 2 to 4 p.m. But of course, on Saturday mornings, Peter does run classic episodes of the morning show. So hence the confusion. But I do commend Doug on his paying attention to his civic duty. And that is a great thing, actually.
I haven't voted on a Saturday morning in a while.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Jeff Nyan is in the Facebook live chat. Hi, Jeff. He says, "Good morning. Great start to the day." Thank you, Jeff. Glad you're enjoying it. Also, Paul, I'm sure I won't say this correctly, but Paul Calut in the chat room. Is
Paul
that someone you know?
Yeah.
Calouette?
This is Paul's bass. He lent it to me for today.
Oh,
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Out of all the basses I have, I didn't have a totally acoustic one, so Paul was kind enough to lend me one. Thank you, Paul.
Excellent. Thank you.
Paul.
This show is all courtesy of a guy named Paul.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Brought to you by
Big
Paul.
sponsor.
I like it. Melanie La Liberty from the great state of Vermont in the chat room says, "Oh, is Santa Claus in a band?"
Yes.
I get that quite often. Yeah. That or ZZ Top. You know any ZZ Top?
Oh, ZZ Top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last time when the Flamingos were on, they had a whole big discussion about beards.
That's
because they're all growing their beards, and they're like, "Oh, those are cute beards."
That comes up. that comes up often on the show. In fact, our friend Jay Fed will probably ask a question about your beard shortly because he does. Michael Albert joins us in the Facebook and says in the Facebook live chat says good morning.
Good morning,
Robin Lee Moran.
Oh, that's my wife.
Oh, okay.
We know
Hi,
her.
Robin.
She says who? HOOO. Yeah, very
Right
nice.
back at you, Robin.
Very nice.
Right back at you.
She lets me out to play once in a while.
Thank you for sharing him this morning.
Yes.
They sound really good. Thank you.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us, we have a Glitter Tooth here live in studio with us. Melanie says the ladies like a sturdy beard.
Oh,
Dan's getting all the love today.
Wow.
Phil's working on his.
As usual.
I'm trying to catch up.
Right.
I can't. It's all patchy for me.
If you have any questions or anything for the band or about beards, 603-250-6007, 603-250.
Change the name to Glitter Beard.
6007. There you go.
Dirty beard. That's a new one for me.
Yes. Oh, geez. Jeff Nyan just read my mind. He's asking a question in the chat room, and it was literally what I was just about to ask you. I think we have a telepathic connection. Jeff is asking, how did the name Glitter Tooth come to be?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to pass this one over to the sturdy beard.
All right.
The sexy gentleman over here.
I tell this story because we got together. We'd all met at Phil hosted an open mic for a while, and then he decided not to do it anymore, so I took it over. And then I met Taylor through that open mic, and so we decided, hey, we should form a band, and we'll get together and see what happens. So we got together in Taylor's barn and played, and it sounded pretty good, so we decided to get together the next week. And in between those 2 weeks, I had to have a tooth pulled. So I was that night I was recovering, all hopped up on the legal stuff that they gave me and I had a fever dream. And in the dream, I was in a band called Glitter Tooth, and I was like, oh. So the next time we had practice, I said, hey, you guys are going to hate this name, but I dreamt that it was Glitter. I was in a band called Glitter Tooth, and they both loved it. So thank you, Hydrocodone. When we go on tour, we're going to have sponsored by whoever makes that, because that's where the name came from.
Right.
But it was a fever dream, and from henceforth, we are Glitter Tooth.
Yeah.
Very nice. Dylan Reynolds is in the Facebook live chat, a very talented musician in his own right. Dylan says, congrats on the new show time slot. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate it very much. And Texas Mike is in the chat room and says, listening to you guys at work. Thank you, Texas Mikey. Jeff Nine says, tremendous name. Yeah, he really likes that. Cool. Very good. Do you guys? I'm dying to hear more. Do you guys want to play another track, and then we'll talk some more, or maybe afterward we'll play another studio track. But hey, you guys want to play something live for us again?
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys like the Black Keys?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna do a cover then.
What song?
We're gonna do "Have Love Will Travel."
All
which
right.
Isn't technically written by him. Taylor could tell you.
Sonics, and then somebody before the Sonics. It's an old song.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of them traditional blues songs.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Taylor's
good.
the encyclopedia
I
for
love
music.
songs
Any
so,
questions
man.
about albums or when it came out or who played on it?
Oh, really? Yeah.
What amp they
That's
used? Taylor's our guy.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. If you're just joining us, we've got Glittertooth live in studio. All right. Whenever you guys are ready.
All right.
You need a love bed, oh baby, I travel. I travel from Maine down to Mexico to find that girl that loves me so. No matter where I'll be, I'll find that girl and she'll satisfy me. Have love, we'll travel. Have love, we'll travel. You need a love bed, oh baby, I'll travel. I travel. I might take a boat, might take a plane, I might hitchhike or jump a railroad train. Your kind of love will drive a crazy man sane. So look for me walking just any old way. Have love, we'll travel. Have love, we'll travel. You need a love bed, oh baby, I'll travel. You need a love bed, oh baby, I'll travel.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. We have Glittertooth here with us live in studio this morning on the program. Of course, if you have any questions or anything at all for the band, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. The studio line is open. I see Peter O. Peliquin in the Facebook live chat. Hello.
Right. That's sorry to interrupt you, but
no, not at all.
That's Pete Peliquin, Lord Boards they call him. He owns the recording studio, Boards House Productions in Brookline. That's where we're doing our recording.
Oh, excellent!
So everything you hear recorded he just makes us sound good. So that's Pete Peliquin. Thank you, Pete.
Also, Dan Fallon is in the Facebook live chat from the band Run Like Thieves, who we had on last week. Just phenomenal. Now the studio tracks, and we'll play another studio track in a moment too. We played Amigo earlier. We'll play another one. But were these the ones that we're hearing today? Were these all also recorded with Peter Peliquin?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. It all sounds great. Does he? I know that oftentimes, and partly from my own experience, and partly from talking to guests, it seems like very often whomever records you, if you know an audio engineer, they often become sort of a de facto producer. Do you have that kind of relationship with him? Does he have a lot of ideas?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he helps us like when we're doing solos, or you know, if all three of us are a little unsure about something, he's like the wisdom that'll kind of like pull us together and either come up with a better idea for us or just help us. He'll be like the deal breaker.
Okay.
And Board's house is where the Fox and the Flamingos recorded too. So that work was done there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
He's really good. Board's House Productions, go there.
He's our Rick Rubin of the area.
Totally.
He's the wizard behind the board.
How did you come to work with him? Because you know we live in an era where you've got so many different options as far as how there's many different recording studios. Also, you can record at home.
So it's funny. I think I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
That open mic that you guys were talking about. So Phil was doing that open mic, and then
I took it over from Pete.
You took it over for Pete, and then Dan started doing it. It's like everybody in the area was. I got offered to host it like many times, and I was just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I could have been the next guy, but it was but yeah, it's just like a lot of really, like you said, and it's like a lot of talented musicians or whatever in that area.
Yeah, the Milford area,
a lot of knowledgeable people,
really cool people. And,
like,
Pete's one of our go-to guys. So
and we're all really close too. Like the whole scene is really close in a sense where like, if somebody needs a bass player for a gig, or like somebody needs a guitar player or needs to record somewhere, like we all just kind of work together, and like we'll send whoever is asking if they need to record, we'll send them to Pete's. 'Cause he's our guy. He also lives like 10 minutes away from all of us.
He lives like 30 seconds from me.
Yeah, like he's basically Taylor's neighbor. So
you're playing guitar with some cool band tonight, aren't you?
Oh yes. Would you like to tell him about that?
Yeah, the band. Phil's one of our.
He's a fill-in.
My regular band
Phil's
is
the
the Pop Farmers. We're playing it tonight at the Peddler's Daughter in Nashua, and Phil is filling in on guitar with us. So
excellent.
He's our
He's
our fill-in Phil.
It's always fun. Always a good time. I just get to sit back and play guitar. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
What do you What do you do in the Pop Farmers?
We play a lot of classic rock, but we play a lot of Irish bars, so we do some Irish stuff too. So I play mandolin on the Irish stuff, and then bass and sing, and then my Gary Blaisdell and Jim Mahoney, they're my regular Pop Farmers, and we're one man short tonight, so Phil is filling in.
Excellent. And by the way, so Taylor, do you play in any other bands? And the reason I'm asking you specifically, well, I was going to say, so okay, it's funny that you say that, because the reason that I ask has been this trend on the show.
Drummers playing a lot of bands.
Every drummer we have on the show plays, because drummers are in such high demand.
There's not enough drummers. Yeah.
I'm in another band called Swipe Left with my a friend of mine, Graham, and this other friend, Mike.
They're really good.
We do a lot of covers, but we have some really cool originals too. And I was in a punk band for a while, punk metal type band, and we just went on tour to like New York, Philadelphia, all that type, all over the place. But that kind of fell apart. I don't know. A lot of
as punk bands do,
anxiety, whatever. And
everyone's just so angry.
I left that band, so I don't know. Maybe they're going places. I don't know. But it was cool for a while. It was fun. But I'm playing. Honestly, right now I'm only playing in a couple bands mainly. So, but it's been like 6, 7, however many bands at a time. I don't know how many bands I've been in.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to work on. I'm happy that I got like a song that I've had for a while that with this band.
Yeah.
These are like the guys I wanted to play. I told Phil years ago. I've known Phil forever now. Like it's been like, hey man, I'm gonna do this song. I want you to play drums on it.
Yeah.
So
another dream came true.
So I because I play guitar and do that stuff too. So it's like I want to get some of those out there. But yeah, drummers playing are always in high demand.
Dude, that should be our slogan here at Glittertooth. We make dreams come true.
Ooh,
that's true.
Right?
It all started from a dream.
Yeah.
It did. That's
Popped up on painkillers.
Very good.
Oh man.
Well, let's listen to another studio track. We've got this song "Save Myself from Me," and so. By the way, just so we're clear too, so are these going to be on the upcoming? Because you guys are working on an EP, right?
Yep.
Okay, and these are all going to be these studio tracks will all be on it.
Yep.
I assume.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's give this a listen. This is a great track, and then we'll come back and talk with these guys some more, and they'll play a little more for us. But check it out. This is "Save Myself from Me," and the band is Glittertooth.
Come waste my time like a television screen. Come waste my money like a lottery ticket. Save me like a priest from all my sins. I would trade my teeth for a pack of cigarettes for you. Give you anything you need. Save myself from me. Save myself from me, darling. Hear me like your favorite record. Watch me like the movies you love. Help me like a doctor would. Turn me on just like your radio. Give you anything you need. Save myself from me. Save myself from me, darling. Drop me like a branch from a tree. Turn me like your steering wheel. Stare at me just like your cell phone screen. You can pick me up just like a magazine. I'll give you anything you need. Save myself from me. Save myself from me, darling. Yeah, I'll give you anything you need. Save myself from me. Save myself from me. Save myself from me, darling.
That is very, very catchy. That is "Save Myself from Me." The band is Glittertooth, and we've got all three members of Glittertooth here with us live in studio. And Jenny is here with us as well on this Saturday morning.
Present and accounted for.
And if you'd like to be here with us, if you have any questions or anything for the band, 603-250-6007 is the studio line. 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connarton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But we'd love it if you give us a call at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Are you guys playing out a lot? You doing a lot of shows or?
Not at the moment. We're kind of sporadic with gigs. We take them when we get them. I work in a restaurant, so Fridays and Saturdays are hard days to get off usually. We take them when we can. But the next gig that we have coming up right now is New Year's Eve at Stonecutters, which is going to be awesome. New Year's Eve gigs are always a blast.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all we have on the books so far. So if anybody out there on the radio waves has gigs, hit us
Yeah.
up.
Stonecutters, where's that?
It's Milford. It's just
Milford. Okay.
Yeah, it's right on the
little
Oval.
pub in Milford.
Yeah, right on the Oval.
Yep.
Very good.
You remember the Red Arrow?
Oh yeah.
In Milford?
Yeah.
So downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Now, is there any kind of I know you're still working on it. Do you have any kind of an ETA on when the EP might be out, or spring maybe, or?
I would say even late winter.
Yeah.
Really?
We're kind of cranking through
Hopefully
it.
soon.
Yeah, Pete works fast.
Yeah.
Pete Pelican. We went in. We did 4 songs in 2 sessions, so we got the 4 done.
Oh wow.
And so we get 2 more
tightening it
tomorrow.
all up, I think.
So yeah. We just got. These guys know the social media more than me. I don't know how to get things out there, but yeah, as soon as we can get them done, we'll get them out there because they're really cool. Phil wrote some really good songs, and Taylor wrote one really good song too.
Yeah,
actually, he's written more good songs than that, but one that we're recording.
I've written a lot. It's just it's good to get one out.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, no, very cool. Well, you guys want to play another live one for us?
Sure.
All right.
This one's called Livin', Breathin', Walkin'. It's about feeling contagious.
All right.
Thinking about a girl on the top of the world. She's a million miles away from me. On another day in another town, she was everything to me. Flying is for birds like swimming is for fish. Fixing is for the broken. Give me your heart and I will rip it to shreds. I will make you wish you were dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's not you, babe, I promise it's me. I'm a living, breathing, walking disease. But it's not you, babe, I promise it's me. I'm a living, breathing, walking disease. Women to my left and women to my right, but she's still on my mind all night. Cigarettes burn while the conversations turn. I'll be going home all alone. Flying is for birds like swimming is for fish. Fixing is for the broken. Give me your heart and I will rip it to shreds. I will make you wish you were dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's not you, babe, I promise it's me. I'm a living, breathing, walking disease. But it's not you, babe, I promise it's me. I'm a living, breathing, walking disease.
Very nice. Glittertooth live in studio with us this morning. We are, of course, live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. And yeah, you guys sound great, getting a lot of love in the Facebook live chat.
That sounds awesome. I really like that a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how many originals do you guys have in terms of? I assume you have more than what you're recording, right? Because you're doing an EP. But have you written a lot of songs, or do you have a lot of songs as a band? A lot of original music? Or?
We have like probably 8.
Okay.
8, maybe 10 total.
Yeah,
that we've like played. Yeah. We actually played a show in Manchester at a distillery not long ago.
Yeah, the Manchester's Distillery. That was a lot of fun.
And we played a full set of originals and the Black Keys track, but that was about 8 songs. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very good. Do you have are there any other bands in the area that you play out with a lot? Sometimes, it just really happens organically in my experience. Sometimes bands kind of team up with other bands or, play a lot of shows together. Or...
Not really lately, or not yet, at least.
We've basically just been recording lately.
Yeah, we've been recording a lot. The other thing is, this started out as, like a cover gig scenario, in the sense where we were, taking gigs at bars where we'd play the 3-hour shows, get paid a flat rate, you get tips, like, so we were focusing on like learning songs. Like, we have probably 30 or 40 songs that we know covers that we could play all together.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we started diving into the original stuff, and it's been fairly recently, I'd say, right? Like within the last couple months even. And we've just kind of gone full steam ahead on writing and recording. So.
Honestly, like really, Phil has like this extensive list of like he has like albums full of originals.
Yeah, I've been writing for a long time.
He has these songs that he's just recorded. And like we're just working on making those into our own, I guess, glitter tooth.
Putting the glitter on.
And they're just like his songs are just like all kind of like finished, and like we're just making them different. I've got some songs that are originals that I'm trying to like work into it. Dan has originals that maybe we'll probably work into them later, and we're just trying to like get all of our own stuff out there.
Yeah.
Phil just had like some that were like these are done. Like just like
let's put our own singer songwriter. I write a lot of songs. It's kind of like by nature my job.
It's been fun though. It's been cool to do that and put all of our own.
Yeah, Philippe was pretty out there for a while.
Yeah, so I did like the solo thing. I went under the name Philippe. And I've recorded some albums, put out some stuff on like Spotify and done that whole thing. But it was always it was a solo project where I would record the bass and the drums and the guitar and like do all the arrangements for it. And then sometimes I'd bring a band in and we'd play live here and there, but all the recordings was kind of created in a vacuum, so like I've just been having a lot more fun in the band experience and taking those songs that like, they're finished, but like they were recorded like very rigid, like here's the drum part. It'd be like a straight, something boring, because I'm not a drummer. So having like an actual drummer and an actual bass player and the whole collaborative effort is so much more fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it yielded a lot of songs, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the material that you released as Philippe, that's all on Spotify and everything?
Yep.
Interesting.
Bandcamp, Spotify, all those random sites, SoundCloud, I think. Yeah, SoundCloud.
And does any of that music, is any of that music currently being played in this band, or is this all?
So we're...
Most of them.
Really?
Yeah, some of them, definitely.
Yeah. Cool.
The three that we have today, only one of those was recorded beforehand as a Philippe track.
Okay.
And that one is not on Spotify. That's just on Bandcamp. But the other two were like brand new, like Glitter Tooth songs.
Okay.
They haven't been released elsewhere,
Yeah.
When we started, we were doing a lot of, all covers at the beginning.
Yeah.
And these guys, looking at them, they're young enough to be my kids, and they were turning me on to like we did the Man in Me, and it was an old Bob Dylan song. I've never heard it before, and these guys turned me on to him. Like, that Bob Dylan guy, he's going to be pretty good. I like him. Who's this guy? And so these guys, even though they're youngsters, they're old souls, and they know a lot of songs, and they're dragging me with them. So it's cool.
Awesome.
Well, you've introduced him to Spinal Tap, then,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I love Spinal Tap.
This one goes to 11.
Movie gives me hope.
So true.
No, great music is timeless, though, and I feel like what you guys are doing, especially when I listen to these studio tracks, it's there's a timelessness to it, in that it doesn't sound like if somebody played these songs for me and I didn't know that it was a current band, I might not know. Like if somebody played these songs for me and said, "When do you think these were recorded?" I wouldn't necessarily know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Which I think is a good thing.
Compliment. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a timelessness to it. I can hear different influences, but it doesn't sound like there's nothing dated about it specifically. Speaking of Spinal Tap, Michael Alber is making requests in the chat room. He says, play Big Bottom or...
I've heard you play that bass line.
I was going to say, I don't think you can play it on that bass.
It might break the bass.
We have I do a show on Friday nights. I'm the co-host on a show called Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. And Paul has never seen Spinal Tap, and we like to bust his stones about that sometimes. He's never seen that, and he's never seen Purple Rain.
I thought you talked him into watching Spinal Tap.
He still hasn't done it.
I've never seen Purple Rain either.
I've never seen all of Purple Rain, but to be fair, I love Prince, but I think Spinal Tap is more important.
I agree, actually.
Between the two,
and I've listened to most of Prince's albums.
I was talking to my wife about Spinal Tap, and there used to be a movie theater on where the old Union Leader used to be, whatever road that was in here. Is it Amherst? I don't know. One of these streets over here.
Yeah.
And there was a little movie theater, and I went to see it when it first came out. And it was so cool to me. I got done. I went back out into the theater, bought another ticket, and went back in and saw it twice in a row.
Oh, no kidding. You liked it that much?
Oh, it was awesome, yeah. I think the second time I was the only one in the theater, but I saw it, and I was like, I got to see this again. And I was like, well, I got nothing to do. I'll go buy another ticket. I should have just hit out. And
this was Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
This was for my generation, probably, when I saw Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it the day it came out with my friends. We were the only 4 people in the theater.
Oh.
It was the day it came out.
Yeah.
We went to go the next week. It wasn't in theaters anymore. That's how bad it did. It wasn't even there.
My friend Robert and I went down to it was either Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun when Spinal Tap was doing they called it Unwigged. It was just the three. They did it acoustic. It was just the three of them.
I've seen clips from that on YouTube.
It was really
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
See Spinal Tap unplugged. It was just weird, but and they were dressed normal. They weren't dressed like Spinal Tap, but it was really cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
Unwigged.
Yeah. Unwigged. They call it. Yeah.
Clever.
Well, do you guys want to do one more? Did you want to do a fourth live song?
Yeah, sure.
You talked about it. We've got time if you want to. I'd love to hear more.
Okay, yeah. We can do one more.
Selfishly, perhaps, but I think you guys sound great.
Well, this is one of Phil's that I always request Phil to play, and I don't know if he's getting tired of playing it, but it's like, you gotta play it.
Never.
Well, the first time I saw him play
I'll tell you if I do, though.
Yeah. The first time I saw him play it, I thought it was a cover because it was so cool. I was like, who's that by? And he's like, me. I'm like, oh, God damn, that's really awesome.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, wow.
So,
Cool.
Well, now I really want to hear it.
Yeah.
Has it ever been played on the radio before?
It has not.
Oh, cool.
World premiere.
World radio
World
premiere.
Yes. Yeah, it's a personal song to me. It tends to be a fan favorite, which is interesting because when I first wrote it, I didn't think anything of it at all. I was like, it's cool, it's done, it's a song,
Yeah.
There's songs you finish and you get excited about. You're like, oh, this one's gonna be it. This is the song. This was not it at all.
Oh,
to
no
me,
kidding.
at least. It was just it. I don't know. It was personal, but it didn't feel like anything. And then all of a sudden, everywhere I go, people are like, that's the song.
It is.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
It's called New Skin.
All right.
Ready?
They're right and you're wrong.
Sometimes I wish upon a song that you will sing me to sleep. Sometimes I wish upon a God that I'll wake up in.
skin. Sometimes I sing to the bugs in my room. Sometimes they sing me to sleep. Sometimes I wish upon an empty liquor bottle that I'll wake up in a brand new set of skin. Sometimes I pray to a friend taken too early. Sometimes I wish it was me. Sometimes I sing through an empty pack of cigarettes. I wanna wake up in a brand new set of skin. Brand new set of skin. A brand new set of skin. A brand new set of skin.
That is awesome.
All right, thank you.
The chat room thinks so too. In fact, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Kaylee Verville?
Kaylee Verville. Hello, Kaylee.
We love Kaylee.
She says, ha ha ha, the down tuning gave it away. I'm so
She knows it very well.
Yeah, she says, I'm so glad I made it to the live chat for this. And Michael James says, new skin. Woo,
Oh,
woo.
that's my bass player.
Oh, okay.
That's the bass player in Swipe Left, yeah.
Yep. Kaylee says, I'm listening with chills and tears in my eyes.
Oh.
Wow. Very
Kaylee.
nice.
Oh, we love
Hi,
you, Kaylee. Don't
Yes,
cry.
we do.
Unless they're tears of joy, don't
they're
cry.
happy tears.
We should have brought her with us.
Yeah.
We should have.
We would've sang
Next
it with
time.
us.
Next time, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Lou Lovett in the chat room says, sturdy beards are hot.
Wow.
So there you
We
go.
didn't even
And
need
we're
to,
back
we
to
didn't
the
even need
beards.
to be here.
Yeah.
Dan should have
I
just
just
sat in that
sent-
chair.
I don't need to be here either. Just send my beard.
That's right. And Lou Lovett also says, love the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lou.
All right. It's because I said something about it.
Very, very nice. Isaac Banks
Come on,
also. Isaac Banks also really enjoying that. Yeah. Great stuff.
You guys have a great sound.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are just joining us, Glittertooth is here with us live in studio and sounding phenomenal. Now, do you guys do you ever play this way, or is this a different experience?
Not really,
Usually plugged in. And,
Yeah, it's usually plugged in and loud. Yeah.
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 Although
that
some of-
song usually gets real pretty.
Usually
like,
electric
built up and
guitar,
loud and-
drums.
Yeah.
Although some of
electric bass.
the open mics we go to,
Yeah.
they're all mostly acoustic. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you guys sound great.
We do it sometimes, but
Yeah.
Sometimes I play harmonica if there's no room for a drum kit.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Oh,
yeah.
very cool.
yeah, Phil and Taylor did a lot
It's
of
weird on some of the songs, but I can do it.
You did a lot of acoustic shows where it's just you on guitar and you on harmonica, right?
Yeah. Phil used to do that before Dan was playing with us.
or Glittertooth.
Before I butted in.
Yeah. Well, what should people know? We want to make sure our listeners know how to find you online. What should they know about so they can keep up with what you're doing, live shows, and of course the EP that you've got coming out when that's ready. And
Yeah, right now we're just on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
And once the songs come out, we'll put them out somewhere else.
On Instagram, it's at Glittertooth123, and what's the Facebook link? I believe it's the same.
Yeah, I think I don't know if the numbers are in it, but like I said, these guys are up on the social media thing more than me. on the Google
I want to
machine.
make sure I get the link right before I say it.
It's facebook.com/glittertooth.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for getting that for us.
I've actually been sharing the link in the chat room while you've been playing.
Awesome.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Yes,
Thank you.
I got your back.
Thank you much.
I don't know if I can give a shameless plug. On Thursday nights, these guys haven't been up there yet because they work, and I don't. But on Thursday nights up in Pittsfield, New Hampshire, I host an open mic at Over the Moon Farmstead, and it's turning out to be really cool. It's turning into, like, we were talking about the Milford music community, and it's kind of, I grew up in Derry, and when I was playing, there may be a music scene in Derry now, but there wasn't when I was in there.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Milford, I was like, holy crap, look at all these musicians. They're everywhere. And then up at Pittsfield with the open mic, I didn't know anybody up there. And now it's starting to be a little community up there too. So it's pretty cool that like most of my friends now are either musicians or I met through the band. So
Yeah.
it's a really cool circle of people to be in with.
What was the name of the place again? Hawk it again.
Over the Moon Farmstead.
Nice.
It's the owners are the Moonlight Meadery in Londonderry. They have a place up in Pittsfield. It's beautiful. And up on Thursday nights, it's an open mic from 6 to 9. And one of these days, I'll get Glitter Tooth up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd get some mead.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'll drive you home.
Absolutely. All right, cool.
Thanks for the shameless plug.
Absolutely. Anytime. Well, guys, this has been great. We'll close out the segment with one more studio track, this song Before I Go, which is and then that'll be it for this portion of the show. But this has been wonderful. Thank you, all three of you, for coming.
Thanks for
in.
having us.
Especially on
Awesome.
a Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's very unrock star time, but thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
So happy to be here.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you guys for coming. Oh, Lou Lovett in the chat room says, Over the Moon rocks on Thursday night. Very cool.
There you go.
Very cool.
Lou L is one of our people.
Cool.
Well, if you're listening live, we are going to close out with another studio track from these guys, and then we'll show some love to our amazing sponsors. And then from there, we're going to go right to our classic film review, our friend Erich Pilcher. And this week, he has chosen the 1973 film Enter the Dragon. So that will be coming up next. And then after that, Jenny and I got some stuff we'll talk about on the show. But so there is plenty more to come if you're joining us live on Saturday morning. But we're going to close out this hour with, again, this is another great studio track from Glitter Tooth. This is called Before I Go. And guys, thank you again. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You got it.
Thank you.
I'm waking up the neighbors, greener grass is somewhere in my bedroom. Wake me up with a scripted morning kiss. Rivalry is such a good roommate. I'm walking on 20 million eggshells. Wake me up with a scripted goodbye kiss. Does anybody know where the door is? Does anybody know the way out? Can anybody get me some coffee before I go? Thinking back, I barely can remember anything. Was everything I wanted to wake me up with a hammer to my head. The photograph, the moment you remember. Heart attacks are somewhere in my bedroom. Wake me up with a bullet through my head. Does anybody know where the lights are? Does anybody here see the light? Can anybody get me some answers before I go? this and that. We had a good laugh. Wake me up with a good old-fashioned joke. Entertain my lazy little left brain. Crack me up and tell me I'm an asshole. Wake me up, tell me why you hate me. Does anybody have a sense of humor? Can anybody here take a joke? Can anybody put a smile on my face before I go?
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH. Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Roper, Williams, and Lee, the Deadly Three, penetrate the secret chambers of an evil island empire.
What do you know about Han? He lives like a king on that island, totally self-sufficient.
A fortress without walls, protected by an invincible army that needs no ordinary weapons. This is Enter the Dragon, the first martial arts film produced by a major Hollywood studio. John Saxon is Roper. He was in it for the money. U.S. karate champion Jim Kelly as Williams. He was there because he had no choice. Black Belt Hall of Fame undisputed martial arts champion and international film star Bruce Lee. His job was to get them out alive.
I'm hoping you'll join us, represent us in the United States. You want me to join this?
Roper, Williams, and Lee. Just when they think they've broken the secret of the island, they find there is no escape from the inscrutable Han. Warner Brothers presents Enter the Dragon, where the world's greatest martial arts athletes meet the ultimate challenge with the most ancient and deadly of weapons, the human body. Enter the Dragon from Warner Brothers.
Bruce Lee. Even over 50 years after his death, his name harkens to martial arts. His contributions to worldwide cinema cannot be understated. And with one film, he brought martial arts films to the popular consciousness of America, a country that once shunned him. Sadly, he was never alive to see its enduring legacy that lasts to this day. Released in 1973 and directed by Robert Klaus, Enter the Dragon gives us the tale of Lee, played by Bruce Lee, a martial arts master tasked with entering a martial arts tournament hosted by the deadly Han, a renegade monk that has become a crime lord. And Lee is tasked with uncovering his criminal empire. Joining Lee in the tournament is the gambling-addicted businessman Roper, played by screen legend John Saxon, and Williams, played by American martial arts master Jim Kelly. Our first clip is Lee being presented with the mission. I chose this scene because it presents the dark and mysterious nature of Han, a man that lives in a fortress-like mansion, and it's only opened up for this martial arts tournament. This is a trope regarding villains now commonly seen in martial arts films that began with this very film.
What do you know about Han? He lives like a king on that island, totally self-sufficient. All of his efforts, seemingly, are directed towards supporting what he calls his School of Martial Arts. Han's only contact with the outside world is this tournament, which he holds every 3 years. This was a stewardess, Mary King, found floating in the harbor. Nothing unusual about a body in the harbor, but this girl was last seen at a party aboard Han's private junk. They'd reported her lost at sea before the body was found. We believe he selects attractive girls and methodically builds their dependence on drugs, then sells them to an elite clientele around the world.
What did the autopsy reveal as the cause of death?
She did not drown.
She OD'd?
Yes. Cause of death was heroin overdose.
I gather you still don't have enough to bust up his operation.
We know everything. We can prove nothing. We want you to go in there as our agent. Get us our evidence.
And come out in one piece to give it to you.
We'll give you anything you need. Electronic equipment, weapons, anything. Drink?
No thanks. Guns. Now why doesn't somebody pull off 45 and bang, settle it?
No guns. Look at this map here. As you know, the possession of a weapon is a serious offense here. Han's Island rests partly within our territorial waters. If we were given the slightest reason to believe that he has any kind of arsenal, we'd move in on him. Besides, Han would never allow guns on the island anyway. He had a bad experience with them once, and he's fearful of assassination. Can't really blame him. Any bloody fool can pull a trigger.
I guess I won't need anything.
There's a radio on the island. We'll be monitoring it on the chance that you can get to it.
And then you'll come.
Someone will. We aren't an agency of enforcement. We function as gatherers of information, evidence, upon which interested governments can act.
I see. If there's any trouble, you make a phone call.
Oh, by the way, 2 months ago, we managed to place a female operative on the island. Since then, we've lost her. If she's still there, she might have something. Name's Mei Ling. Sure you won't have one?
No, thanks.
Martial arts films have a very distinct way of showing us, the viewer, the difference between heroes and villains. The heroes, or good guys, look at martial arts as a way of life, a way of living, that one should not fight and use it unless provoked as a means of defense. Villains look at it as a way of force, a way to intimidate and consolidate power. Our next two clips show this. First, in a brief clip, we hear Han show off his treasures to Roper that he has acquired through criminal activity. Then, in an early clip from the film, we will hear Lee speak to his martial arts master. Of note here is the peace and ease that Lee's master carries compared to Han, in the way that he explains Lee's martial arts skills as being a part of him and not a skill learned.
This is my museum. It is difficult to associate these horrors with the proud civilizations that created them. Sparta, Rome, the knights of Europe, the samurai. They worship strength because it is strength that makes all other values possible. Nothing survives without it. Who knows what delicate wonders have died out of the world for want of the strength to survive? What's this? Oh, a souvenir.
And now, Lee and his master.
I see your talents have gone beyond the mere physical level. Your skills are now at the point of spiritual insight. I have several questions. What is the highest technique you hope to achieve?
To have no technique.
Very good. What are your thoughts when facing an opponent?
There is no opponent.
And why is that?
Because the word I does not exist.
So, continue.
A good fight should be like a small play, but played seriously. A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready. Not thinking yet, not dreaming. Ready for whatever may come. When the opponent expands, I contract. When it contracts, I expand. And when there is an opportunity, I do not hit. It hits all by itself.
Now, you must remember, the enemy has only images and illusions, behind which he hides his true motives. Destroy the image, and you will break the enemy. The it that you refer to is a powerful weapon, easily misused by the martial artist who deserts his vows. For centuries now, the code of the Shaolin Temple has been preserved. Remember, the honor of our brotherhood has been held true. Tell me now the Shaolin Commandment number 13.
A martial artist has to take responsibility for himself and to accept the consequences of his own doing.
Prior to the release of this film, Bruce Lee was known in America. This was through his films from Golden Harvest over in Hong Kong that had found their way to the States, and his time playing Kato in the short-lived American television series, The Green Hornet. But this film made him a global legend that endures to this day. Our final clip will be Lee's daughter, Shannon. Saxon and actor Bob Wall, not just talking about Lee in this film, but his long-lasting, ever-reaching legacy.
Everywhere they know who my father is, and they've been touched in some way, inspired in some way, or just excited in some way. And it's such a blessing. I now work doing things for the legacy through my foundation and through our licensing business and that sort of thing, but I'm just so amazed and so inspired on a daily basis, and it's really why I want to do what I do in keeping the legacy alive, because I'm inspired by it. If, there hadn't been that depth of philosophy behind it, if there hadn't been so much more to it and so much authenticity to it, then I don't know that I'd be doing what I'm doing today.
I had been doing things like judo and Japanese karate and stuff like that, and eventually I began to seeing other kinds of things. Bruce obviously helped me a good bit, and I would ask him, "What do you think I'd try to do this kind of thing?" He said, "That's pretty good. Try that." And we were working like that all the time. He probably didn't mean it, but but when I got to Hong Kong, I was there with my wife and my son, who was not yet 2 years old. And the next day, I went to see Bruce, and he brought me into his house. He was waiting to see me, and then I saw he had a gem, and I looked at it, and it reminded me of what I had a little bit of at my home, And we began to talk this and that, and he was telling me things, what he could do with kettlebells and stuff, and things that I had little contact with at that time. And we kept going on and on and on, and then all of a sudden he began to tell me, show me how you do your sidekick. And I said, okay, but I had done a scene at the park about 3 weeks or 4 weeks prior, where I had sprained my ankle. And I said, oh, well, all right, he's wanting to do this with me, well, I'll do it, So all of a sudden, I threw a kick, and then he said, let me show how I do mine. And he did. he moved around with a chair, and I didn't know what he was doing, I was looking over his shoulder like that, and all of a sudden, he stood in front of me for about 15 feet or something like that. And he did a hop, skip, and a jump, and I had a bag, and he knocked me clear across on my heels like this, going into a chair like that, and the chair fell down and broke. And I got up, and I saw he was very kind of quiet and anxious about this, and I said, listen, it's okay, I mean, I didn't get hurt. He says, I know, but that's my best chair. And it was the same chair that he had everybody else do the same thing with me that I discovered later. Stand behind it, and then he'd kick, and you'd go back, and boom, you'd hit this chair. But I had broken it. I was the only one that had broken it, okay?
I loved Bruce Lee, and we were really close friends for many, many, many years, over 10, and training partners. And I got $500 a week when I was making $10,000 to $12,000 a week in my real estate business. My wife of 44 years now said, why are you doing this? And I said, I just love Bruce. He's my first close Chinese friend, and I can take these hits, and everybody's afraid of him. And I've been training with him. I can take the hits. And Bruce wanted to do everything real. He really, Freddie and Paul can tell you, Bruce got hurt a lot in this film. He got bit by the snake. He got hurt by the windows. He got cut with a glass scene with me. We were using real bottles. So my part in it was I was really enjoying it. You don't see yourself as a bad guy, although my wife does. She thought it was typecasting. And I've had so many people over the years say, well, I hated you. I wanted you dead. Even Freddie said, I wanted him to kill you. And he didn't even want to hire me for the part in the beginning. But I really enjoyed doing it. I loved Bruce. And it's like my partner for 48 years is Chuck Norris. And they're both the same, Chuck and Bruce. And people say, you've never missed a workout with either one of them. And I said, no, why would you miss a painting lesson from Picasso?
In the world of cinema, words groundbreaking, landmark, and trend-setting are used ad nauseum. I will admit, I'm guilty of overusing them even on these reviews. If there ever was a film deserving of those words, though, it is this film here. It is an understatement to say this film brought martial arts films to America. It affected many other film genres. This film led to blaxploitation films and other action films using martial arts as a way of fighting, and not just using guns, knives, and explosives. This film has generated an American gross box office of $120 million upon its release. And to this day, it has generated $2 billion in worldwide box office gross through its original release and countless re-releases. For Lee, it finally made his dream come true to have Jeet Kune Do, his version of martial arts, brought to the American mainstream. Sadly and tragically, he never had the chance to see it come to fruition. Lee suddenly passed away July 20th, 1973, almost 2 months before the film's American release. However, its influence carries on, and that is due to Lee, who would have celebrated his 83rd birthday this past November 27th. To know what American martial arts films are, one must see where they began, and that is with this action masterpiece. I hope you join me next week when we will look at the directorial debut of screen legend Robert De Niro. Next week's film is A Bronx Tale, starring De Niro and Chaz Palminteri. For WMNH and Matt Connarton Unleashed, this has been a classic film review with Erich Pilcher.
To the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetry.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH. Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
You are listening to WMNH 95.3.
The commander to the supreme leader, Matzo coming down.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast Channel 6 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Saturday, December 2, 2023. Jenny is here as well at the news desk.
Present and accounted for.
Yes, and you're wearing, did you want to show the shirt that you're wearing? Pretty Late. Great, great band. Yes. Actually, we opened the show today with one of their songs, Guardrail, which I love. But yeah, they were here last week. Was it last week or the week before?
Yes, it was last week.
Blurs together.
Which is why I chose to wear the T-shirt
Yes,
today,
yes, yeah.
Because I thought, they gave us these lovely T-shirts, and I love their music. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Great, great band.
Easy decision to wear the T-shirt.
Yes, yes. We love Pretty Late. Let's see. Today we had, to start off the show, we had Glitter Tooth here. They played live in studio and shared some of their recorded tracks as well. Great band. Really, really enjoyed having them here.
There's a tremendous amount of talent here.
Oh, absolutely.
If there's anything I've learned after a year of booking bands the way we've been doing this year, it's amazing how much talent, overflowing talent we have in New England.
Yeah, and I would say too that applies to wherever you are, wherever you are in the world. Check out what's going on in your local music scene.
Yes, because
I guarantee you, there are artists in your local scene just doing incredible things. And get out and check it out. Go on. Bandcamp is a great resource if you want to look for music specifically in your area, wherever you are. Bandcamp.com, or go out and see some live bands. There's great talent everywhere. you know, I've always said the greatest band that ever lived, for all we know, we've never even heard them because they just never got famous, you know, but they're somewhere, or they were somewhere. But I mean, obviously it's all subjective, what's great and whatnot, but there's so much great music out there. So yeah, Glittertooth, absolutely amazing. Really enjoyed having them here. And then of course we had Erich Pilcher's classic film review, this week, the subject being Enter the Dragon from 1973, which I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen that film. I say I'm embarrassed to see it because actually growing up, I was never really into martial arts movies, but I did, you know, for about 5 years, I did do Jeet Kune Do, which was, of course, developed by Bruce Lee, which is really an amalgam of different styles of martial arts. So I did, that was kind of the height of my exposure to Bruce Lee. But yeah, there was a place in Concord called Integrated Martial Sciences, and Paul Mahler was the instructor there, and just incredible. But learned a lot about Bruce Lee from him, actually. But we have a call. We'll see who's on the line. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning.
Oh, Erich, I don't think I've ever heard
that voice.
I don't think I've ever heard your voice in the morning.
What was that?
I don't think I've ever heard your voice in the morning. It threw me.
Yes, it is early. I'm having tech issues at work, so I haven't worked yet, despite getting paid for the last 2 hours.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I thought I would just call in and say good morning to both of you. And, Matt, you must see Enter the Dragon.
Yes, I must. You know, I agree. Like I said, I'm embarrassed that I haven't seen it.
I mean, it is so much more than just a martial arts film.
Yeah.
It is great story, well written. I mean, you really see the influence that this film had on directors like John Woo and others.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing film.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The problem is I do not think it is streaming anywhere.
Oh, you know what's funny is coincidentally, as the guys were packing up from Glittertooth, Taylor, the drummer, was commenting that he just ordered Enter the Dragon. It's coming on, he'd never seen it before, but he ordered it, and it's coming on 4K?
Yes, that's what I did my review off of, is the 4K that was just recently released.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. He's like, wait a minute. He's here in the review. He's like, I just ordered this film. That's funny.
Yes, the 4K looks absolutely stunning. And yeah, it's just such a great film, albeit not Bruce Lee's best film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his Golden Harvest films are by far head and shoulders better than Enter the Dragon. But this is the film that really brought martial arts films into America mainstream and showed major Hollywood that these films can be profitable. Like, it's not just a film that you buy from Japanese studios and air it as Friday night, midnight movies at the drive-in.
Mm-hmm.
Or just release them on crappy quality VHS.
Yeah. How many movies?
Make your money back.
How many movies did he make, Bruce Lee? It's quite a few, right?
Bruce Lee made, well, let me venture out into my living room here. Because there was his Golden Harvest films, and then there was Enter the Dragon. Then there was Game of Death that they completed after his death, and it just doesn't look great. He did 5 films.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but my perception, although I think I might know why, but my perception has always been that he made more, that he was like into the double digits with the movies that he made, but he only made 5.
Starring films of his, I mean, complimentary roles, yes, way more. But in starring, there is only, I believe, 5.
Okay. Now, was there somebody else? Because I remember, this was years ago, I had a conversation with someone, actually, who happened to be a musician who was in a band. I don't remember his name or what band he was in. This was a long time ago. But he was telling me about there was somebody else, like a stand-in or somebody who was pretending to be Bruce Lee that they made some movies with, and he was known as Bruce Lie. But like people called him that as a joke because he was like pretending to be Bruce Lee, or some Hollywood producers were trying to pass him off.
Name.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but they used him for Game of Death.
Oh, okay. The one that they had to complete?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, enough of it was done. That's the one that has the fight scene with him and Chuck Norris.
Okay.
And a fight scene with him and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Really?
Yes, it is painfully awkward.
I bet it is. Is it obvious, though? Like, when you're watching it, is it obvious that it's somebody standing in? Yeah.
It is. Just because it's not even body or voice. It's his movements. I mean, if you've watched Bruce Lee, you know Bruce's movements. You know, it's this quick, flawless. It's like, I love the line in the review that we heard. It's like, would you ever miss a painting lesson with Picasso? Like, there are so few athletes in the world where in their sport, their movement is just beautifully flawless and just, it looks like art. And Bruce Lee's martial arts is that. I mean, I've heard people compare Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, and it's like, no, there's no comparison. Just beautiful movement, like no flaws. It's probably the sweetest motion in any sport is Bruce Lee's kicks and punches.
Yeah. No, I will. I'll definitely have to see Enter the Dragon. Like I said,
yeah, I mean, it is a great film, very captivating. Some of the reviews when it was released were not very good.
Really?
I believe, the reviewer for Variety said it was a low-rent Chinese food version of James Bond.
Really? Yeah, that's not positive.
Which you definitely could not say that today.
Right.
But back then, reviewers had carte blanche to say whatever they wanted to say.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that's what Bruce Lee was faced with most of his life. I mean, in his endeavors to try to bring this art to America.
Yeah.
It is with a great deal of derision and just vitriol. And the film, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, does a great job of encompassing that.
Now, Melanie in the chat room, she has a counterpoint. She says, "I heard Bruce Lee hit and kicked like a little baby, and no one was ever really hurt." Now, I don't think that's true. That's not correct, is it, Eric?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. I mean, I think you hear from John Saxon that Bruce Lee could royally mess you up.
Yes.
It goes without saying I love Quentin Tarantino. And I took great exception to his portrayal of Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's another film I haven't seen. Why? How does he portray Bruce Lee in that movie?
Egomaniac, very condescending, and borderline stereotypical.
Yeah.
It's not endearing look at Bruce Lee. It's a brief scene as well. Probably one of the more memorable scenes in the film.
Oh, okay.
But, it did upset me when I saw it in theaters. I was there with my cousin Joe, and I told him, and I nudged him, and I go, "That's disgusting."
Well, now I want to...
I said that's absolutely horrible.
Huh. Well,
because yes, Bruce Lee did talk with an aura of confidence, but he had every reason to be confident.
Right. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Yes, and faithful adaptation and racial profiling. And Quentin Tarantino, I defend him on much of what he's done, but I don't defend that. It was very disrespectful to Bruce Lee's daughter and his wife.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even tell him he was doing it.
Right. Oh. Now, Dan Fallon from the band Run Like Thieves says in the chat room, "A baby once kicked me and I cried." Yes, but that baby was not Bruce Lee.
Yes.
If Bruce Lee kicked you, you'd be doing more than crying.
If anyone's interested and they have Hulu with the ESPN Plus login, the ESPN 30 for 30 Like Water does a very good job of encompassing Bruce Lee and his Jeet Kune Do teachings. And Jeet Kune Do isn't just a martial art. It's a way of life. It's meditation. It's relaxation. It's in what you eat. It's everything. And I think that's a common misconception, is that Bruce Lee was just a guy that kicked and punched. No, he lived what he said.
When I did, we never got into any of that. Unfortunately, when I did Jeet Kune Do, I did it for about 5 years, and our instructor, I don't know, maybe he assumed we didn't care about any of that stuff. I would have been interested, but we just did a lot of. Actually, my two favorite things, because Jeet Kune Do is a mix of really anything you can use that works, basically. And
yes,
we did a lot
Bruce Lee was the first mixed martial artist.
Yeah, exactly. And we did in the class that I was in, we did a lot. The two things that we did the most of were jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, which were my two favorite things to do anyway. So that worked out really well for me. That's why I stuck around as long as I did, even though I was, getting the hell beaten out of me twice a week for 5 years. It was. But we never. Our instructor never ventured into any of the other elements of Jeet Kune Do with that. Just the fighting, which was fine. But I would have liked to have learned more about everything else. Well, I still could actually. But
Well, a lot of martial arts studios, and this isn't just reflective of Jeet Kune Do. This is across the board, unfortunately. A lot of martial arts studios don't focus on the whole life aspect of it. And that's the thing with martial arts. Karate, judo, hapkido, all these different fighting styles have a physical, mental life balance to them. And a lot of studios don't focus on that because, quite frankly, that's not where the money is.
Right. Although
people go to them to learn how to kick butt, like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Tony Jaa, Jason Statham. They don't go to learn all that there is to it.
Right. True. I remember too. The thing something that was unusual to me though at the time was Paul Mahler, the instructor. Like, there was no belt system. You know how if you go to a karate studio, you can be a black belt. Eventually, you've got a lot of belts to go through to get to that, but you have a belt system, and there was no belt system. And Paul always said that Bruce Lee objected to that. He didn't like. He said he felt it would be disrespectful to Bruce Lee to introduce any kind of a belt system at the studio. So it was basically, there was beginner, there was intermediate, and there was instructor. Those were like the 3 levels. And, I was intermediate because, I went for 5 years, but that was it.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Bruce did not believe in the belt structure. That actually caused a lot of the dissension American martial arts associations had with Bruce Lee.
Yeah. And apparently,
because he felt that your experience wasn't based on fighting, your experience was based on life. The more you did in life, the more you learned it in regards to combat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is true. He did not believe in the belt system.
Yeah. There was.
Jeet Kune Do has adopted it over the years, but that in
right.
The book of Jeet Kune Do that Bruce Lee wrote, they do have a belt system, but it's very simplified. It isn't like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and karate, where karate, there's written tests you have to do to advance as well as combat tests.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember Paul explaining to us at the time that there were some Jeet Kune Do studios that did have a belt system, but he felt that it would be that would be wrong because that's not what Bruce wanted. And the other thing too that was kind of unusual, that sort of when I first started going there, it sort of broke whatever stereotype I had in my head about what it was like to do martial arts, was you didn't have to wear a gi. Some people did. I never in my life have worn a gi. You could wear shorts, you could wear sweatpants, just regular, whatever. But you did not. It was not required. And actually, only a couple of students did wear gis. But you did not have to wear a gi in that class, and I always thought that was cool because I didn't want to be bothered with that.
That's another Bruce Lee original. You had a good instructor.
Yeah.
Bruce, when he taught at the University of Washington, he never had students wear gis.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it looked.
You don't wear a gi when you're defending yourself.
Exactly. That's what Paul used to say. You don't wear a gi when you're defending yourself. Exactly. Yeah. So why would you wear one to train? Yeah.
That was Bruce Lee's belief. Like, someone isn't going to attack you if they see you wearing a gi.
Melanie is asking in the chat room, what about really tight spandex? Have you ever worn that, Matt?
Oh, boy.
I am legally prohibited from answering that question publicly.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking.
But, yeah. Well, there's a whole thing. But yeah, so that was I never wore a gi or spandex, but not at class certainly. But yeah, no, I'll have to see Enter the Dragon, definitely. But it's not streaming anywhere, right? You have to order it.
No, it isn't. It is not streaming, I don't think. I can check that and get back with you guys in the chat, but I don't believe it is.
Okay. All right. Hey.
If it were streaming, I would guess it would be on Peacock because it's no, it'd be HBO Max because it's Warner Brothers.
Melanie says in the chat room, like a one-piece bodysuit. Those are sexy. I would the only time I would wear a one-piece bodysuit was if I were a supervillain. I think that would be appropriate.
Ooh, with a cape.
On that note. I think it's best served if I bow out before I get asked about wearing some, I don't know, a gimp outfit or something.
Sure. Well, you did mention Tarantino, and of course we've all seen Pulp Fiction. But before you go, Erich, do you want to tell us what you have planned for the rest of the month for the film reviews? Unless you have to get back to work. I don't know if...
Next week we are looking at, this is one of my personal favorites, A Bronx Tale.
Yes.
It was adapted from Chaz Palminteri's one-man stage play of the same name by Robert De Niro. It's his directorial debut, and he also stars in it. It's one of the few gangster films that I feel is centralized to one neighborhood. And it's just a great story. Has an excellent cameo with Joe Pesci, who actually was uncredited in the film.
Yeah, that is a great. A Bronx Tale is one of my absolute all-time favorite films.
He went uncredited, and it didn't have a theatrical release. Its debut was on HBO.
I didn't realize that. No
Yeah,
kidding.
it had a very limited theatrical release.
Oh.
Like that. It was very limited to New York.
Oh.
But other than that, HBO did the worldwide premiere of it. And a lot of people say that was the precipice of The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
That the success of that movie and the success of the film they did, Gotti, led to HBO wanting more street crime drama. So hence The Wire, The Sopranos, Oz.
By the way, I just have to say my favorite scene in A Bronx Tale is the scene in the bar with the bikers.
Oh yeah,
when Chaz Palminteri, when he says, "Now you just can't leave." Such a great scene.
Yeah, that is, in my opinion, one of the greatest scenes in gangster film history.
Agreed. I love that.
In the voiceover narration in that scene just makes it work. Now, putting that scene in the review could provide quite difficult because of certain language used throughout it. But I have it downloaded and have actually started working on it to see how unintelligible it is.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Obviously things will have to be bleeped, but I'm sure it's not that bad.
Well, there's a lot of Italian ethnic slurs used in that scene, and and some of them are very quiet in the background, so it is hard to edit those.
True. Good point. Yeah.
And so, yeah, there are things you pick up on with film when you're reviewing it for a radio show that you didn't pick up on before. Or you're so desensitized to it, you just bypass it.
Right. Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's one that, but I would love to, that scene is amazing.
Yeah.
Then after that is Ridley Scott's Gladiator.
Yeah, that I haven't seen.
In honor of Ridley Scott's latest release, Napoleon. And then we will be doing, let me look at my calendar, I believe the 22nd will be A Christmas Story. In honor of Christmas, and that will be the last film review of the year. Until the first film review of the year, which will be a very highly requested film, Schindler's List.
Yep.
A lot of people have requested it, and I remember watching it when I was in high school for a class, and I haven't watched it since because that film is so haunting.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be interesting for me to watch it.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah. I've only seen it once. It's an incredible film, but that film is on a very short list of films that I think are absolutely amazing, but I never really particularly want to watch them again because they're so overwhelming. It's
not a buddy and popcorn flick by any stretch.
No, certainly not.
It's in the vein of 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
And you've seen it, and you really only need to see it once because you get it.
Right.
And it just leaves that impact on you.
Oh, yeah. You never forget it. Yeah.
No, but yes, we will be reviewing Schindler's List.
Okay. All right.
So this month should be fun.
Melanie points out, by the way, regarding Schindler's List, the little girl in the red coat was a powerful scene. That's exactly what I was thinking about, too, just now. I was thinking that same thing.
That is actually on the cover of the 4K.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yep. The little girl in the red coat.
Yep.
The pink coat. I believe it's pink. Pink or red. I
thought it was red, but I could be wrong.
I think it's one of those where it's such a light color, but that makes it so much more powerful.
Yeah.
where it's open to interpretation. But that was a brilliant move by Spielberg.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yes, that's what we have. But I will let you guys go. Have a good rest of the show. Jenny, it was nice speaking with you again.
And you as well.
All right.
And have a good rest of the show, you two.
All right, Erich. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Be safe.
No problem. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That was our friend Erich Pilcher with Erich Pilcher's classic film review. And today, this week, the subject was Enter the Dragon from 1973. J-Fed in the chat room says, I'll make sure you get my reviews as well, Matt. He's always trying to get in there on Erich's reviews.
Trying to one-up him, I think, you know?
Well, we are at the top of the hour, so we're going to take one more quick break, show some love to our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the final hour of our show today. I think we have a specific subject that I've been posting about on social media that seems to have the whole world talking, and which one of the individuals involved in the situation has actually referred to it as a global divorce.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not see that.
Yes, it's actually rather heartbreaking. It's like watching my parents get divorced, except they're musicians. But we'll talk about it. So we'll take a quick break and then we'll see you on the other side. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH. Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off. You are listening to WMNH 95.3.
The commander to the supreme leader, Matzo coming down.
Welcome back, everybody, as we cruise into our third hour numero trace of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast Channel 6 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Saturday, December 2, 2023. Jenny is here as well at the news desk.
I am present.
Yes, yes. And you can be with us at, if you want to call, 603-250-6007. The studio line is open, 603-250-6007. You can also text us at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connarton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007. And I think Jeff Piegari from Greensboro, North Carolina is on the line. Jeff, is that you?
That is me, correct, Matt. Wait, can I ask you a question before we get to the biggest news ever? Why are you guys moving to Saturday? Everybody's wondering.
Yeah, just a little bit of a change in content strategy, and it could change again in the future. We shall see, but got a lot to do. Got a lot to do during the week, so for right now, this is a little easier.
Okay, I'm asking. Before I get to my big news, can I ask you another quick question? The Frank Sinatra show. How do I get to listen to it? Because Matt, I am a big Sinatra fan.
Oh, the new.
How do you get to listen to what?
The Frank Sinatra show is actually going to be airing on Sunday. Jenny.
The Frank Sinatra show?
I'm not.
Yes, there's a special that Jenny doesn't know about. By the way, Matt.
Yes.
By the way, Matt and Jenny, today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook Live, JP and IB are going to go live and out on Matt Connarton today.
IB, is that Isaac Banks?
Yes.
Also known as.
We're going to be going live and out of you guys today. We're going to be going live for 4 hours of Christmas fun and.
Excellent.
Wow. All right. Hashtag.
And I love you guys. By the way, happy holidays, and hopefully everybody's been good because JP and IB are looking at the Christmas list, including Matt Connarton's Christmas list.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes. I suspected as much.
Much love back at you.
Well, you guys have a good day, and I will call them next week. Happy holiday, you guys, and me and Isaac love you guys so. Keep it up.
All right. We appreciate all the support. Thank you. Happy holidays to you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All righty. Well, very nice. Nice to hear from Greensboro, North Carolina, checking in. Hashtag, I say to you. 603.
Well done, sir. Well done.
603-250-6007 is the studio line if you'd like to chime in. 603-250-6007. Before we get into my favorite duo splitting up, my favorite musical duo, we should mention, too, just a few events coming up. Well, for one thing, we've got the Miracle on Elm Street.
Yes.
The morning show is going to be broadcasting live, I believe, from Bonfire.
Yep.
And I think now
starting at 4 p.m., I believe.
Starting at 4 p.m. and we'll be there. You're donating a beautiful painting.
I'm going to try and make some challah to donate with it to sweeten the pot.
Excellent.
Maybe even some cinnamon apple challah.
Oh, very nice.
Always
very nice.
make it around Christmas.
Yeah. And I'm donating a free online or in person if they're in the area hypnosis session.
Yep.
So
lots of great toys coming in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's still plenty of time to donate. You can drop your gifts off here at the station at 1045 Elm Street, Suite 300.
Probably the easiest thing is to just bring, which I in the past a lot of people have brought gifts.
That's true.
Right to Bonfire.
Yeah, you can come down and say hi to everybody
on the day. So that's Wednesday, right? Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday starting at 4:00 at the Bonfire.
Yes. So please, it's a great event, an annual event that Peter White and Maddie Couchane
and everything benefits Manchester kiddos.
A lot of other great people are involved, like Jeff Nyan and the city really comes together to support kids.
Right here in the Queen City.
Make sure they have toys for the holidays.
Don't forget the older kids too. Teenagers. Lots of great things to get teenagers.
Yeah.
And we're always looking for older kids stuff too.
Yeah. So that's coming up. That is this week.
That's on Wednesday.
And then we're going to be attending an event at the art studio.
Yes. I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to it. This is my new favorite place, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't know it existed, and now that I do, I'm in love.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago now, right?
Yep.
We went to a show there at. I'm trying to get the flyer to open on my.
It's the Mosaic Art Collective right here in the Queen City.
Yes,
which
it's right above the Palace Theater.
It's amazing, beautiful artwork. There's some artist studios in there. We went to a lovely concert and had a blast. And then we're going to be going back.
Oh, I found the flyer loaded on my computer. Yeah, yep. So that's going to be on Friday. Oh, that's it's a little ways off.
There's 2 different times you can go.
Yeah, it's Friday, December 15th. We're going to the noon event because but when you showed it to me, my first impulse was to say, oh, let's go to the 5:30, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's Friday, we don't know how long it's going to be. And of course I have Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. But yeah, this will be very interesting. So what this is, and it's a subject that we'll be talking about, I don't know that we'll necessarily have time to get to it today in any depth, but at some point we'll be getting into this on the show. Artificial intelligence in art, a discussion. Friday, December 15th, there's one at noon and one at 5:30 at the Mosaic Art Collective, Suite 201 at 66 Hanover Street, right here in Manchester. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I like the title. If you look at the imagery, AI in art, revolutionizing creativity or threatening authenticity.
Yes.
So very interested to talk about this subject.
By the way, coincidentally, last night, you had gone to bed, but I was up late working on something, and I was trying to DALL-E 3, which is the new open AI image generator, or the newest version of it. I was trying to get it to create a new logo for something. I won't say for what, but boy, it was failing me horribly.
Oh boy.
Maybe the prompts I was, if you know anything about AI, maybe the prompts I was using weren't specific enough, but like I was trying to get it to create a logo for something, and there's specific verbiage that needs to go into the logo, and it was like it kept missing letters, and it was very strange.
What is it called?
DALL-E 3.
DALL-E 3. This
like the artist DALL-E, DALLE 3. You have to pay for it if you use it through Chat GPT, but you can use the Bing chat to access it for free.
Oh.
And I guess this is Bing's way of trying to get people to use Bing instead of Google or something, with good luck. But so there's a way that you can access it for free that I found. And I was trying to use it last night to create a logo for something. And it couldn't even get... It was just a total fail. So,
well, it's new technology. That's what's going to be,
Yes. But it's interesting to, well, anyway, it's something we'll obviously be talking a lot about in the coming days, coming weeks, perhaps the coming years on the show, as it affects everything having to do with, the music industry. And, but I do use it. I love the Chat GPT.
I know you do.
You finally used it recently.
Only for your benefit.
That's right.
I abhor it otherwise.
I like to...
as a writer, I will not use it for myself.
Right.
But you wanted something, so you got it.
I like to ask Chat GPT questions like, sometimes I use it in my work to help me, if I need something written quickly. But also I like to ask it questions like, what exactly is your plan to completely take over and destroy humanity?
Did it tell you when the Terminators are coming?
It does not. It says it responds that is classified. No, it actually I don't really ask it those questions. I'm afraid to. I'll tell you what though. When I was using DALL-E 3 in the Bing chat, I'd type a prompt, asking it to create a logo, and then it would create it. It would do something that completely unusable. And then when I would ask it again, and I would, try to be more specific about what I was asking for, it kind of got a little bit snarky with me.
Really?
And I'm not kidding when I say this. This is not a bit. It got a little bit snarky. It would say things like, I already did that, but if you want me to try again, I can, or something like that. But it was talking back to me a little bit. It really was. It was saying things like, I already did that for you. It was actually saying things like that. And I'm like, what? This, maybe because I'm using the free version through Bing, but it had a little bit of an attitude with me.
No,
that surprised me. I'm not kidding. It really did do that, and I was a little taken aback. I was like, I don't think I like your tone there, Dolly 3.
Does it get to know you, or is it's just starting over every time? Is it getting to know you?
Well, it does learn in theory, but I don't know. I don't want it to get to know me if it's going to be rude to me like that. I ask it for something and it does it wrong, and then it tells me, well, I already did that for you. It's like, yeah, I'm asking you to do it again, but do it correctly.
Ooh, did you type that?
No, I did not.
I wonder what would have happened if you had.
Then it'll probably, like an animated middle finger will appear or something. I don't know.
You'll be banned.
I don't know. I don't know what the consequence is of fighting with it, but, I shan't try to argue with the AI because I don't want it to kill me. I might be the first one it kills when it does decide to turn on humanity and destroy us. It's we're going to get that Matt Connarton guy first because he kept insisting that we do the same thing over and over because he didn't like what we did the first time.
No satisfying that one.
So once it becomes sentient, I'm going to be the first to go. But that's another subject. We have to. I knew there was another event we wanted to mention.
I was going to remind you.
Yes, the drag trivia.
Yes.
Thursday night at the Hop Knot. And we will be there.
We will.
So come down and say hello. It starts Thursday, December 7 at 7 p.m.
Are you ready for this, folks? Matt is going to play bingo. He has agreed he will play bingo.
Drag bingo. Did I say drag bingo or did I say drag trivia? I'm not sure.
I think you said trivia, actually. It's not trivia.
They
it's
usually,
bingo.
Right, that's right. They usually have trivia on Thursday night, but
they're doing a bingo special.
They're doing so
next week, Thursday.
So with Cocoa Bean Rains, and Cordelia Rose.
Yes.
Will be there.
There will be prizes. There is a $10 cover, 21 plus.
And Jenny and I will be there, so come on down and say hello.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
I got to play drag bingo once before, and I had a blast. So I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Yes.
It's a hoot. It's a good time. You certainly will have some laughter.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, I like it. I like the laughter. I like the joking. I like taking a break away from the world.
Yes.
And I am really looking forward to this.
And the pretzels ain't bad either.
Seriously, I was looking. All right. I'm thinking maybe we got to get the pizza pretzel.
Oh, yes.
Or maybe get you the pizza pretzel.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
I don't know. I might just skip the food and go straight for the dessert pretzels because I was looking at some of those. Oh my God. I'll have to spend the next month going to the gym every day, but they look so good.
Yep. So that'll be
creamy.
That'll be Thursday night. Melanie in the chat room says, "Ha ha ha! Skynet going to kill us all, no matter what you do." Oh,
we know. We're just trying to, hang in for the long road.
That's right.
Hang in there as long as possible. Maybe they'll skip us.
Yes.
As long as Matt stops making the Chat GPT and the other AI programs mad. I mean, you're going to put a big target on us.
I know.
So stop it.
I wish
they don't get snarky with me.
I wish I had saved that somewhere. It really, I was taken aback. It's like, I already did that for you. It's like, yeah, you're
pretty soon. It's just going to be like the soup Nazi. No AI for you. Get out.
That would be horrible. I don't want to be left. I don't want to be left behind.
Oh boy. That's another story.
603-250-6007, 603-250-6007 is a studio line. All right, we have to talk about it. Wait. I want to read you a quote, and I want you to tell me who wrote it. Okay.
His behavior has become adversarial and aggressive instead of professional and courteous.
I do know who said that.
Who said that?
The great Daryl Hall.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding,
and
ding,
what
ding,
what is shocking to me is who he said it about.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
The great John Oates.
This took me by surprise. Like, I didn't see this coming in any way, shape, or form. I thought they were still touring together.
Yeah, they apparently they last toured in 2021, I think.
I honestly didn't realize that they'd gone there. Yeah. This is bizarre.
Yeah, it's like, watching this happen with, of course, Daryl Hall versus John Oates. It's not Daryl Hall and John Oates anymore. It's Daryl Hall versus John Oates.
Yes.
It's reading this and reading these articles and these quotes of them sniping at each other. It's like some of you might relate to this. It's like, to me, it's like lying in bed at night and hearing my parents argue. For those of you who've experienced that when you're a kid, how awful that is. Right? It's like it feels like that.
Paul went forward and said, "It appears to me that John Oates' intent has become to burden and harass me without regard to my interests as his business partner or the interest of WOE."
WOE, of course, is Whole Oats. Is it Enterprises? Yes, Whole Oats.
Yes.
Because they had an album. Hall & Oates had an album named Whole Oats, which that was very early in their career, and they chose that title with no apparent sense of cringe.
It was clever.
No, that's not.
Yes, it's clever.
As a lifelong fan of Daryl Hall and John Oates, I am almost as horrified at the fact that there exists an album called Whole Oats as I am at the fact that they are getting this, what Daryl Hall has termed a global divorce. Global because the whole world is talking about this. And it's very upsetting.
They should have called it Hall Oats. Just like one word. Hall Oats.
Why?
Stop, because I thought it was funny.
Oh,
You're a brat. Whole Oats. I think Whole Oats is clever.
I don't.
I do.
So part of what is so surprising about, I've been paying attention to this is not, let me put it this way. The fact that there's some sort of issue between them, which there clearly is, and it seems to be business-based, a professional business disagreement that seems to have become personal, but there's much that we still don't know. But the fact that there is any issue at all is not completely surprising to me, and I'll tell you why. And I haven't, I'm going to just make some observations that I've heard other people sort of hint at, but nothing. I'm going to go a little deeper on this because hopefully you're all as fascinated by the drama of Daryl Hall and John Oates as I am.
There's a word for that the youth have now.
That the youth has?
Yeah. Spilling the tea.
Oh, spilling the tea. Well,
that's supposed to be gossip now. That's
right.
New woke move, or not woke. The new, what do you call it? I don't know.
I don't drink tea, but if I did, I would spill it because I'm clumsy. So I suppose this is apropos, which I think the young people also say that. I think I heard DJ Reckless saying that the other day. He said something about, "Oh, that's very apropos." So the young people say that as well, I believe. I have observed over the past 5 or 6 years that Daryl Hall has low-key, the young people definitely say that, has low-key been disparaging John Oates subtly and just a little bit here and there. Now, people who have been following this closely, everyone refers to the Bill Maher podcast, where Daryl Hall was on Club Random. This was 5-6 months ago. He was on Bill Maher's podcast. And Bill Maher brings up, he's talking to Daryl Hall about his career and, whether they're going to make new music or they're just going to keep touring on the hits and whatnot. And Bill Maher said something to him about, in terms of his decision-making, he said something about, well, but you have a partner. To which Daryl Hall quickly replied, "You think John Oates is my partner? No, we're business partners. He's not my creative partner." And Bill Maher's reaction is like, "Whoa, what have I stepped in here?" And Daryl Hall goes on to say that they're not creative partners, and they're strictly business partners. And yes, they made records together called Hall and Oates, But that doesn't mean, but even on the records, they're very separate. And people are pointing to that and did at the time saying, why is he talking about John that way? He's making it sound like Daryl's basically making himself sound like a solo artist, and like John Oates is just kind of this hanger-on, kind of the Andrew Ridgeley to Daryl's George Michael's, and or is it George Michael? And and then he kind of cleans it up a little bit later in the podcast, because Bill Maher comes back to it and says, well, when you're a fan of people, you want the people you like to like each other. And at that point, Daryl clarifies and he says, and keep in mind, this is before the lawsuit. Daryl says, "Oh no, I do like John. We're friends. We're just not creative partners like people think we are."
John's really being very verbal too. He's going out and talking to everybody. He told the Los Angeles Times, everything you do is juxtaposed against another person. Try doing that sometime. I don't want to use the word emasculating because that's male, but it takes away your individuality.
I thought it was Daryl who said that.
No, that was Hall. Daryl Hall. No, Hall.
Right. Yeah, Daryl said that. Daryl Hall.
What did I say?
You said John Oates.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, John isn't saying as much as Daryl. Well, so Daryl is
going. That's what I meant. Daryl is he's talking to everybody. I got quotes from everybody here.
That's pre-lawsuit. Yeah. So Daryl, well, that's what I mean though. Daryl, for a while now, for about 5 or 6 years, has been trying to kind of distance himself, and I have a theory about this. And I found a podcast that Daryl was on. This was a while ago. This was a couple of years ago. I found a podcast interview that, because neither of these guys really do a ton of interviews, but I found one from a number of years ago where Daryl kind of strongly implied that that some of those songs that are credited, where both he and John are credited as songwriters, it was really mostly Daryl, and that they were never creative equals, and that it's more of a 90-10 partnership. So he's been kind of disparaging John for a while.
My understanding is the big thing about this is all about creative control over their names, their music, things of that nature. But prior to this lawsuit, Oates already sold a good chunk of his.
They both did together.
So there's a third party
they already
that
sold
owns,
off part of their publishing.
So in
it's this company, Primary
Hall,
Wave.
I think Hall is afraid that if Oates sells his to this third party, now some third party has controlling ownership over their entire catalog, their name, their everything.
Well, not only that, but according to Daryl Hall's attorneys, part of what is in their business agreement is there's a confidentiality. In other words, Daryl is claiming that John violated this confidentiality agreement by showing the business agreement that they have within Whole Oats Enterprises. It's hard for me to even say that, Whole Oats.
I think it's nice.
By showing their agreement to Primary Wave, because you're not supposed to do that. So you're not supposed to do that without Hall approving it. And neither of them can do that without the other approving it, which seems to be why the judge has gone ahead and put a pause on the sale. But Daryl, the thing about Daryl is I have long held a theory, especially when I noticed Daryl. I noticed something. Geez, I noticed this years and years ago. In fact, there is an album. I think it's Do It for Love, which was the last full-length studio album of all original material that Hall & Oates has ever put out. And I remember looking, geez, this was like 15 years ago. It's been a long time since they put out an original, because Daryl has said they don't have anything to say together creatively. They've put out solo albums. But the last studio album they put out, I love to look at liner notes if it's an artist that I'm really interested in. And like I said, I'm a big fan. And I remember looking at the liner notes, and there's a section where, Daryl thanks, you'll see that in albums. Daryl thanks these people and John thanks these people. And I notice in the section where it says Daryl thanks, he says something like, "I want to thank my musical team." And then he lists off all these names. And I remember thinking, that's interesting. I want to thank my musical team and not our musical team.
That's a good point.
And I remember noticing that. And And I think if you looked at the part where John thanks everybody, he actually mentions Daryl. But it's like Daryl never mentions John. My long-standing theory has been that, and forgive the pop psychology here, but I think Daryl resents John Oates, because I think Daryl likes to think of himself as a solo artist. I think that's part of why he started Live at Daryl's House, which is a great series. I love, I can get lost in watching those online. But I think that Daryl has always seen himself that way. And I think he kind of resents, when he's done solo albums, like I remember when I was a kid, he released a solo album called 3 Hearts and the Happy Ending Machine. There's a song called Dreamtime, which was the first single, which was a pretty big hit, but not on the scale necessarily of what Hall & Oates has accomplished. Hall & Oates together, they're the biggest selling duo in pop history. And I think Daryl kind of resents being tied to John in that way.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is. But that's my theory. Why? Because even in interviews, I remember recently I saw an interview that had resurfaced from a couple of years ago where Daryl Hall is talking about Primary Wave owning the publishing on a lot of their material. And he refers to it as my material. He doesn't say our material. He says, I don't like this company that, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but I don't like them owning all of my material. It's just, he tends to talk like that. He tends to refer to, and it hasn't always been that way. Of course, back in the day, it wasn't that way. But I've noticed that over the past 5 or 6 years, he almost talks about himself, unless John's name happens to come up, like he's a solo artist. The other thing I will say is Daryl, don't get me wrong, I love Daryl Hall, huge fan of his music, and the show Live at Daryl's House is great and everything. But he has a reputation for being a little bit of a diva, whereas John Oates has a reputation for just being the salt of the earth. The only person I've ever seen say anything negative about John Oates is Daryl Hall in recent days since this lawsuit was filed. Other than that, nobody's ever said a bad thing about John Oates. I also wonder, is there some resentment on Daryl's part? Because Daryl, if you hear him now, he can't sing like he used to. And that's fine. He's 77 years old and your voice changes. But John Oates, if you go online, let me put it this way. If you go online and you listen to Daryl Hall singing recently, you might notice a change. He still sounds great. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the greatest singers ever. But he still sounds really good. Can't take that away from him. But you can tell there's a change, right? But if you go online and you find a video of a recent John Oates show, John Oates sounds incredible. And I remember finding a YouTube video of John Oates singing Out of Touch. You know the song Out of Touch?
Yeah.
Of John Oates singing it at one of his solo shows. And somebody in it was like somebody read my mind, because somebody in the comments, I don't usually bother to look at the comments, but for some reason on that one I did. Somebody actually commented on the video, wow, John sings better than Daryl now. It used to be the other way around. And so I wonder if Daryl resents John for that too, because John's voice has clearly not diminished, whereas Daryl's has.
And Hall is actually actively touring as a solo act.
They both are. Yeah, they both are.
Well, Oates, Hall accuses Oates of intentionally trying to sell this stuff now to disrupt and make his life difficult.
I saw that.
He's doing this. He's creating unnecessary. He said, not to mention unnecessary expense and burden during a time when I'm in the middle of a tour through the U.S. West Coast, Japan, and Manila, and need to focus and perform at a top level. I believe that John Oates timed the unauthorized transaction to create the most harm to me. Respectfully, he must be stopped from this latest wrongdoing and his malicious conduct reined in once and for all. Wow. 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 Oof.
No.
That's hard. We think these guys went to college together. They met at Temple University.
Mm-hmm.
They became a band in the 1970s. All this time,
Mm-hmm.
but they haven't done anything in nearly nearly 2 decades from what I've been reading up as far as like doing anything more. It's been
Well, they tour. They've toured
no,
together
I mean, like
a lot.
the last time they actually put anything out together.
Yeah.
It's been nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
Since they've done that, but it's sad to see this long relationship devolve into this.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't blame. I'm kind of in Camp Hall here because I can't blame him for not wanting a third party to have controlling interest of his work.
Right.
Of their work. Like I can see why that would be really. I mean, what happens if they do? Could Hall legally be prohibited from playing music?
No, it doesn't work that way. But it would be. The thing is, when somebody else owns your publishing, the publishing rights to your music, and it's a big subject, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I only know a little bit, but they decide how it's used. So let's say whoever owns your publishing, they want to sell your song to a car company to use in their commercial. Well, if you, as the artist who wrote and recorded that song, if you own your publishing, you have a right to, do whatever you want with it. But if somebody else owns your publishing, they have a right to do whatever they want with it.
Yep.
Some of these artists who are selling their publishing, Springsteen did it. Neil Young did it. Neil Young claimed, though, in his interview on Howard Stern, that when he sold off his publishing, because, they're cashing out, they're getting huge lump sums of money to sell off their publishing. Neil Young claims that in his agreement, I think it was Neil Young who said this, or maybe it was David Crosby before he died, said that in their agreement, they still have veto power over how their music is used. Although that's not how it's supposed to work, so I wondered if that was true. But yeah, so Daryl might be concerned about how their music is going to be used, and if it's true that John Oates violated that confidentiality agreement, then that's a problem.
Absolutely.
I tend to be on Team Oates, though, Team John, because first of all, the mustache.
Oh, come on.
Truly one of the great mustaches.
That is not a reason to get a higher up.
No, listen.
No.
That is John Oates in the 80s. For you youngins who might not know, you'll have to go back and look. Go to Google Images, type in John Oates. He had a mustache that rivaled Tom Selleck. Who else?
It is a very nice
Wilford Brimley
mustache.
Sorry. Yes.
But it is not a reason, I do not believe.
And it inspired
a leg up.
And it inspired a cartoon, J Stash.
Really?
Yeah,
Come on, for real?
No, for real. There's if you go on YouTube and look up J Stash, it's really funny.
Stop it. Is it just the stash, or is he involved? Is it his body?
It's a whole thing. You gotta see
mustache?
it. It's really funny. When you get a chance, go on YouTube and look up J Stash cartoon. It's really funny. It's really funny.
Who did that?
Yeah, it was a whole thing, and he was involved in it. He provided the voice for it.
Really?
Yeah. This was like 15 years ago, maybe. It didn't go anywhere though, unfortunately. But no, I mean, just based on reputation, I mean, John sounds like the much nicer person, just generally. I do find it hard to believe that he's doing any of this out of malice to Daryl Hall. But again, I mean, legally, if he's not supposed to share any confidential business information with Primary Wave, and he did that, then it's hard not to be on Team Daryl, I suppose. But Daryl does have a rep for being a bit of a diva.
I wonder, did he have like a first right of refusal or anything like that? You know what I mean? Like, was there any effort to let him buy himself instead of selling it to the third party?
Yeah, I don't know.
That would make sense to me. Like, first, hey, buddy, do you want it? I'll sell it to you. I don't want it anymore. I want the money. I'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, there's a lot that we still don't know, but more details keep trickling out.
What we do know is their relationship feels like it's irrevocably.
They've lost that love and feeling.
Yes.
Whoa, that love and feeling.
What's your favorite Daryl Hall and John Oates song?
It kind of changes. I mean, I think probably Out of Touch is the one that I've listened to the most over the course of my life. I love Family Man, which at one point was famously banned here at WMNH.
Yeah, Peter did that.
Peter White.
He detests
not
the
a
Family
Man. Not a fan of Family Man. I'll tell you, it was a whole thing. You know what we had a lot of long time listeners might know about that. It's a lot to explain. It was a whole bit that it was one of those bits that sort of enveloped both this show and the morning show, and we had a lot of fun with it. It was a number of years ago now. But my one regret about that, I wish that had all happened around April 1st of that year, because I would have loved to have come in as an April Fool's joke, come in to do my show and just play Family Man for 2 hours. I think that would have been hilarious, but the timing of it didn't work out. It wasn't during the month of April or going into April that all happened. Oops. But we had a lot of fun, the famous Family Man saga. But the other thing about this is, I remember within the last year reading an interview with John Oates before all of this happened, where somebody asked him about, do you guys ever fight? Do you guys ever argue and disagree over anything? And he said, and Daryl Hall had said this too in the past, that the two of them in their 5 decades of working together had never had an actual argument.
How can they be so distant now then?
I know.
Like if they were, I don't buy it. Come on.
Oh, that they'd never had an argument?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they had disagreements, but yeah, they both claimed that they'd never actually yelled at each other or stormed out of the studio or slamming doors or anything like that.
I could see that. But it stinks that they're so far apart from one another now. And then what happens if it is allowed to be sold to the third party? Does that mean that third party will have the control over everything? Because this is their name, their logo, their music. It's everything about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
You know what's really sad too is this how they want to
go out?
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, just on putting everything else aside, just on a human level. I mean, Daryl Hall is 77 years old. John Oates is 75. And this is how it's going to...
Doing it from 1970.
This is how it's going to end?
2023.
God, that part is heartbreaking to me.
It is horrible.
All that success, the biggest selling duo of all time, and this is how it's going to end?
And they like the nice guys in music, right? They're the guys that you'd want to go listen to and relax and have fun and joke around. They were the happy guys.
Yeah.
It's hard to see these two happy guys not so happy. Is watching them growing up, their music. I mean, it was always good music. It was it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna kill something. It was always good music, happy music, loving music, and they always seemed to be those people. It's hard to see them in this really negative, nasty light.
Yeah.
Where they're just at each other's throats, trying to hurt each other, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe they stayed together too long.
Maybe.
And grew to resent each other. Those people do that, relationships. I had a relationship too long.
So, yeah, you sent me an article here from grunge.com
I goofed,
about this. And, or actually, you also put it in the chat room and I clicked it. And just kind of scrolling down. Yeah,
this one just came out. This article I just sent you from Grunge. Literally just came out within the few hours.
So it talks a lot about their career and whatnot, but then it is scrolling down to the part where it talks about what's happened recently. It says here, Daryl Hall also seemed to resent, and that's the word that I used. I think he resents John Oates. He seemed to resent what his partnership with John Oates represented. He told the LA Times, quote, "Everything you do is juxtaposed against another person. Try doing that sometime. I don't want to use the word emasculating because that's male, but it takes away your individuality," unquote. Hall's annoyance at his lack of individuality could be why he hasn't worked together musically with Oates for a long time. He once again mentioned Oates on an episode of Club Random with Bill Maher. That's what I was talking about earlier, saying, quote, "He is my business partner. He's not my creative partner. We made records called Hall and Oates together, but we've always been very separate, and that's a really important thing for me," unquote. Oates additionally clarified that the pair aren't close anymore. In 2023, he told The Big Takeover, quote, "I think we have both grown apart professionally and personally. I think we both want to do something else," unquote. Then, in November 2023, Hall filed a lawsuit against Oates, as reported. the lawsuit falls under the contract debt category, and it says no further details have been released, but obviously some things have come out now.
There is a TRO. There is a temporary restraining
Oh,
order
yeah.
preventing the sale from occurring.
Yeah, that was a weird thing too, because when this story first broke, everybody was like,
"Oh yeah,"
everybody was like, "He got a restraining order against John Oates? Does he think John Oates is going to come beat him up?" And I remember reading that and thinking, no, I think the restraining order legally. I mean, I'm not a legal expert, but it has other applications. Like you're trying to prevent somebody from doing something, which is exactly what this restraining order is about. Trying to prevent John Oates from completing this, what has been deemed an unauthorized transaction.
Most people don't hear that term unless it's in regards to some kind of violence, domestic violence or something like that.
Right, exactly.
You don't necessarily, but it applies in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But yeah, they cannot go forward with the sale until this is resolved in court or until the judge says to heck with it and lifts the restraining order. But I don't see that happening. I think this is going to be a long, drawn out court battle. Which is sad to say, but I think that's exactly what we're looking at.
But it's funny too with the restraining order thing, and like I said, I kind of sensed that everyone was taking that the wrong way. But I also remember too, just coincidentally, this was from I'd seen the clip on YouTube. This would have been from, I don't know, at least 15 years ago. But Daryl Hall, he was a guest on the Howard Stern show. And you know how Howard is. He's always trying to find the dirt and always trying to be a little provocative. And he was asking Daryl, "Well, how come your partner's not here with you today? You don't like him, do you? I bet you guys argue all the time, right? Because you're the talented one, and he's just kind of the hanger-on." And at that time, though, Daryl was like sticking up for John, and he was like, "Oh, John's written a lot of our hit songs," but John Daryl also made a comment. Oh, because Howard asks Daryl, "But you could take him in a fight, right? You know, you're taller, so you've got reach on him. You could take him in a fight." And Daryl says something about, "Well, John was a wrestler in college. He was on the wrestling team. He could probably kick my ass." So I thought of that when I first saw about the restraining order. It's like, oh, maybe Daryl really is afraid of John Oates, but no. I would be afraid of the mustache because that could be a sentient being, much like AI could be someday. But yeah, it's the whole thing is just very sad. Very sad.
It is. But it's a huge issue. It's a lifetime of work.
Mm-hmm.
A ginormous catalog.
Mm-hmm. Isaac Banks says in the chat room that his favorite song is "Private Eyes" by Hall & Oates. Yes.
What do you think? There's someone that claims to have a list here of Daryl Hall's 5 favorite Hall & Oates songs. Think you can get one? Think you can guess?
Well, I don't know if Daryl feels this way, but I've heard John Oates say in multiple interviews. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. It was Daryl who said this. So She's Gone has to be on the list because Daryl has said in interviews that is the best song that he and John Oates ever wrote together is She's Gone.
First one on the list was She's Gone.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You want to take a stab at any of the others? 4 more.
What else? His favorite?
Yeah, it's hard. You got to guess his favorite.
Wait for Me, maybe?
Nope.
Because he likes to really milk that one when they do it live. Oh God, I can't go for that.
Nope.
I don't know. I give up. They've got so much.
So the winning songs are One on One.
Okay.
You Make My Dreams.
Yeah.
Every Time You Go Away.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Smiles.
Sarah Smile. Yeah.
Sarah Smile. Sorry, I pluralized it. And then She's Gone. Those were the 5 songs listed as Daryl Hall's favorite Hall & Oates songs.
Ah.
Does that surprise you?
No. No. Every Time You Go Away, by the way, for anyone who doesn't remember that song, you might remember Paul Young's version of it. Paul Young in the 80s did a cover of that and had a huge hit. But that was actually a Hall & Oates song originally. And did they ever actually record their? Yeah, they must have recorded their version. But there's also a live version. They also did it when they did the Live at the Apollo. They performed that live. And I prefer Daryl singing it. Isaac Banks says in the chat room, my favorite song is "I Can't Go For That, No Can Do" by Hall & Oates. He keeps changing his mind.
He said it was something else.
He said before it was Private Eyes.
I wonder about this company, Primary Wave. Like, how many catalogs do they own? It makes you wonder.
Probably quite a few.
What kind of a collection they've got going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's big business.
I'm curious. I wonder if I can find out any more about them.
But a lot of these artists are cashing out and just selling off their publishing.
Oh, boy. They also own Ray Charles, Bob Marley, Whitney Hughes, Burt Bacharach, Smokey Robertson, and the Four Seasons, to name a few.
Yeah.
Since 2016, apparently. They're out there. Well, it's a very lucrative part of music that doesn't get talked about at much publicly.
Yeah.
Is all the royalty and the right side of it.
Well, you know what the most infamous in modern musical history, you know what the most infamous example is, right, of somebody purchasing somebody's publishing?
Prince.
What do you mean?
Prince. When he changed his name. Oh, no.
No. When somebody purchasing the rights, the publishing rights to somebody else's music.
When Michael Jackson bought the Beatles?
You got it.
Aha.
Yep.
And who owns that now? Because Michael passed away. Do his kids own it, or did they sell it? I wonder if
they might have sold it. I don't know.
Has the because he literally went up against Paul McCartney.
It ruined their friendship.
Paul McCartney wanted to buy the rights to his own music.
Yep.
And Michael Jackson outbid him.
Yep.
Wasn't it a Sotheby's or something? It was some kind of auction. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because
you bet you didn't think I'd guess it. Huh?
Yeah. Paul McCartney was very bitter over that because he thought Michael Jackson was kidding. You know, they had a hit song with Say Say Say, and didn't they have 2 hit songs together that they did? But Paul McCartney talks about a conversation he had with Michael Jackson, where Michael Jackson told him he was going to buy his songs. He was going to buy the publishing of the Beatles, and McCartney thought he was kidding, and then it happened. And I think that I don't know if they ever spoke to each other again.
Well, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah,
you're
McCartney
supposed to be my buddy. How do you buy my music out from under me? That's crazy. It is. It's crazy. But companies like Primary Wave, they're getting quite the catalog. So
yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that. I like artists owning their own stuff, But
yeah, but if they want to sell it and cash out,
yeah. It's just, I don't know.
I think John Oates is saying, I'm going to cash out, I mean, again, these guys are,
It's not like he's going to pass it down. You know what I mean? Like, well,
yeah, no, he could. I mean,
no. But it's not like there's going to be any more creativity coming out of it, I think is where I'm kind of trying to go from.
Yeah.
It's like, when these guys are gone, it's over. It doesn't continue. So maybe he just wants to put a period in it and walk away.
Yeah.
But I don't blame Hall for being worried about somebody else having the right to, sell chicken to their music.
Right. Yeah. I was trying to think of what Hall & Oates song would go well in a KFC ad, but nothing comes to mind.
I can't go for that.
No, because they want you to buy their chicken.
They want you to go for it. Yeah, they can't do that. I won't go for it.
Maybe Wait For Me.
You think?
Yeah, because if you're saying, you're going to KFC, wait for me. Wait for me, please. I want some of that fried chicken.
No.
No?
No.
I can't sing it like Daryl Hall does.
No.
Of course, Daryl Hall can't sing it like Daryl Hall does either anymore.
Stop.
But John Oates can, and Daryl resents that.
Apparently, a great deal. There'll be more to come out of these two. I suspect that this is not going to be a quickly resolved issue. I see this being a ugly, long court battle.
Yeah, it's very sad.
It comes out with no winners.
Very sad.
It's a shame. Come on, can't we all get along? Kumbaya moment.
Well,
dang it.
There's our
dang it.
There's our eulogy for the great
Daryl Hall
team of Daryl Hall and John Oates. All right, we got to
Oates. You love it. You love it.
I don't.
Tall Oats.
Bothers me. It's the worst
Rolls
album.
right off the tongue.
Worst album title ever.
It's their company name too.
By the way, have you ever noticed some of their albums? They don't even say. Some of them say Daryl Hall and John Oates. Some of them don't. Some of them say Daryl Hall, John Oates.
Without the and?
Without the and. I wonder if that's Daryl's doing.
Oh, maybe that was when the split started. You should figure out when that was. What year did they drop the and?
Well,
or did they ever use the and again afterwards?
It came and went. Like I'm looking at the cover of H2O, and it just says Daryl Hall, John Oates, but that was an early one because we are going to close with Family Man, which
I'm looking at the same cover,
which was on the
wait a
H2O
minute.
album.
There's another one that has a plus sign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the cover of the single for Family Man. It just says Daryl Hall, John Oates. There's no and or plus or
Is
anything.
that the one that has like the yellow and red star behind it?
There's no star, but I don't know.
Or
Anyway, well, it doesn't matter.
It's flat.
We got to go.
Okay.
We are out of time. Thank you, Jenny. Do you want to plug your website?
Oh, sure. You want to check out what I'm up to or check out any of my paintings, go to jenncoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com, where I also publish my illuminating articles.
Yes. And thank you again to Glitter Tooth for coming
fun.
in.
They're great.
That was fantastic.
They're great. And if you think you know somebody that we should know about, drop us a line. Always looking for other artists from all walks of life.
Yes. And thank you again to our friend Erich Pilcher for another great classic film review. And
He's good at that.
If you missed any part of today's show, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnerton.com. And we will see you next Saturday. And don't forget this Wednesday, coming right up, A Miracle on Elm Street at the Bonfire. And the morning show will be, I think they're doing... I don't know how long they're going to be live there, but they'll be there. And
I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, you should go down, say hi to the guys.
Absolutely.
Bring an unwrapped toy or gift for a child to have here in Manchester. Everything they're doing is staying right here in the Queen City, helping out kiddos locally. So please help out. Please donate. And we hope to see you at the bonfire next Wednesday.
All right. And we're out. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
She